A very, very warm welcome to everyone that's tuned in to get in on the action as we present to you the first edition of the Non-Binary Virtual Awards 2020, powered by Maybelline New York. We hope you're all snuggled up comfortably in the comfort of your own home and ready to celebrate with us as we bring light to India's resilient, talented, and often inspirational queer community. The NBs was born out of the global lockdown that we continue to experience in many parts of the world as a silly little idea at first in my own head, but soon snowballed into something much larger and full of hope and meaning. Together with our partners, our collaborators, allies for sponsors and contributors, the NBs now stands to generate conversation and bring added awareness to India's larger queer movement as an annual award show format, raising monies for trans persons' welfare and queer mental health. Our incredible 5-member jury comprises of powerful voices. They include Sushant Divgikar, Mr. Gay India 2014. Sushant is a celebrated drag queen and entertainer, a fantastic TV presenter, and a fabulous singer with a voice of an angel. Sushant was recently featured in the Forbes 30 Under 30 list in 2020 for the arts category. We then have Praful Baweja, co-founder of 6 Degrees, a growth network for skilling and employment of Indian LGBTQ folks. And Praful also served as a marketing innovator at the Vivid Diversity Job Fair for differently abled Indians. We have Shobna Kumar, an entrepreneur and publisher, the founder of Queer Inc. Publications and Film Production. Shobna founded the Umang Group for LBT Women, which is lesbians, bisexuals, and trans women, and has dedicated years of her life creating HIV and AIDS awareness work. We have Aditi Rao Hydari, who is one of the few stars who seamlessly balances both commercial mainstream cinema and content-driven films. Aditi's captivating screen presence, her doe eyes that speak volumes, her inherent grace has set her apart on the Indian silver screen and have made her a favorite amongst many viewers across industries. Aditi is a trained classical Bharatanatyam dancer and has effortlessly managed to carve a niche for herself, working with Sanjay Leela Bhansali in Bollywood to Mani Ratnam in the South. Aditi has worked with the best directors in the country. I have been a part of those working experiences with her, and she is a visible advocate for inclusive human rights and has been a great long-term ally and a friend to me. Our 5th and last jury member is somebody that I've really grown to love in the time that I've gotten to know her, Zainab Patel. Zainab is the Director of Diversity and Inclusion at KPMG. Now, if that's not a serious responsibility to balance on one's shoulders, Zainab is also a transgender person whose work involves mobilization of social initiatives that benefit marginalized populations. Now that we've gotten to know our jury a little better, let's move on and kick off the festivities. To do so, I'd like to introduce Lakshmikant Bongale. Lakshmikant is a young independent filmmaker academically trained in Hindustani classical music and ethnomusicology. He's an actor, a polyglot, speaks and writes in Marathi, Hindi, Kannada, Urdu, Bangla, and currently studying Sanskrit and French. As a Marathi poet and existential seeker, Lakshmikant identifies as a pansexual person and hailing from a beautiful tiny town of Belgaum in South India. Based in Mumbai currently, his curiously interesting journey reflects vividly across his work. His debut film, Misty Roads, is a cinematic journey that attempts to explore our deeply intertwined connection with the forests and questions plastic living in the name of modernity. Currently in post-production, Misty Roads is scheduled for release in mid-2021 and hopes for a successful festival run thereafter. We wish you a lot of luck, Lakshmi. Now, just like anything in India, we love to start off and kick off anything good with an invocation of the divine. Now, I personally am an atheist, so it's not coming from a place of seeking religious anythings, but really just putting out energy into the universe and hoping that it conspires in our favor and allows us to learn with grace and dignity. So over to you, Lakshmi, in your own artistic style. Let's kick off the NBs 2020, powered by Maybelline New York.
Hello. I'm Lakshmikant, and thank you, Elton, for that overwhelming introduction. As we are here to celebrate the diversity, the inclusivity through NB Awards, I would like to acknowledge the struggles of our Adivasi and Dalit friends who have to face the discrimination on daily basis. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar actually wanted to reclaim this Indian culture for all of us. The language itself, the Sanskrit language, was in his vision to be claimed by all. So this is my humble effort and attempt to do so. I would be singing a Richa from Rigved, which is to evoke the divine, which is feminine.
Lakshmi, that was lovely. I have goosebump situation going on here, but thank you very much. We'd like to now have a conversation with our partners. I'd like to introduce Malini Agarwal. Malini is an Indian digital influencer, a TV host, an entrepreneur, and a best-selling author. There's Azan Seth, founder of the Hub Bengaluru. Azan began the Hub as a co-living and co-working space that is now a community building platform for brands and creators to collaborate. Ishan Bharat, the founder of Sector Form, his own design studio. This is a multidisciplinary artist and aerialist. Ishan serves as visual director for the NBs. Welcome, guys. It's lovely to have you. We're going to discuss why we're doing this and why it matters.
Hello.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your participation in the Non-Binary Awards 2020 powered by Maybelline New York. So what we wanted to discuss really is why we're doing this in the first place. I want to understand why you guys have partnered with the NBs in whatever capacity you have. I also want to talk about why it matters, this conversation, and why allyship matters and how it helps to consider not just ground reality, but also how to make things work for the larger community on a larger scale and to get, this is just our first edition of the NBs. This will happen annually. This is purely it's sort of an aspirational, inclusive venture, an aspiration. So I want to understand how you guys feel about this shared aspiration. We'll start with Malini.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for making me part of this, Elton. And you always talk about me being a good ally, but I feel so proud that you value, my allyship, because it just means that you care about what I think as much as you feel that I care about what everybody goes through, And I feel that I love the way that you're doing the NBs because they're so refreshing and it's so unique and it's, it's kind of self-deprecating at the same time and being real and who you are and not taking yourselves too seriously, and all of us not taking ourselves too seriously and not really being inclusive in the full sense of the word. And I think that's so important. So I absolutely love being part of this. I'm very excited that this is the first edition and I know it's going to just get bigger and better. And your eyeliner looks absolutely fierce and I'm very distracted by it right now. So
thank you to my tattoo line. How does Miss Malini Entertainment as the office, how did they feel about the project when we pitched it to you guys? And was everybody as excited about the platform?
Absolutely. And I think what I love, especially about my team, is that they feel so happy that they are in a space and have the opportunity with what they do to be good allies. I think there's a lot of people who I think struggle with how to be good allies and where to begin, and we've had this conversation before and I struggle with it too, that I'm always afraid that even though my intentions are so pure and good, what if I say something wrong?
I'm not in my 20s, I'm in my, I'll close 40 soon. So for me, I grew up at a time when we didn't have any of these words. Language was different for us. And so I've spent 38 years without having these labels attached to me. This is by me, a human being, and other allies for people under the larger queer umbrella to bring more visibility. And because this is our first year and a first of its kind virtual event, I'm happy to make mistakes because I know it's natural.
Yeah.
And Elton, I feel that one of the things that has come to light, especially during the COVID and this pandemic, is all of us are going through so much emotionally, mentally, that's going to have such a long lasting impact. And I think even as someone who, I think, and if I have to put myself in a box and I say, okay, I'm cisgender, I still really wonder about who I am on so many levels. And I almost feel like it's such a great thing to have a platform like the Non-Binary Awards, because I'm also included in that. Where I feel like I'm also part of, that entire experience, and I can also identify, and I don't have to feel left out because I'm not part of a community per se.
Ishan, how do you feel about the usage of the word NB, for example, that we have the logo of which and the typeface of which we have trademarked, not the word, right? But how do you feel about our effort and our true intention being misinterpreted, or what are your thoughts on it?
So, like Malini was just pointed out, like it's a lot about kind of breaking those boundaries and the stigmas attached to being this or that or whatever. And NB and a lot of other words and things that are new in the dictionary, the new edition. So it's like they can be misconstrued very easily. The words we're still trying to gather as to what they really mean. Like you can't just take them for that textbook definition. While the textbook definition might be something about male, female, or gender, it's also about not bracketing people and things into categories of just black or white or this or that. It's about the gray matter in the middle. And I feel like for me and for even the NB Awards, for example, NB represents that gray matter. And that gray matter is that queer space. Queer means weird, right, originally. So the queer space is not just like this, like a gay lesbian or like this or that or an NB person or whatever, or a transgender. It's about people who haven't been recognized before.
And you know what I have to say, Elton, I think that's something I've learned even with, like the girl tribe community, which I've also, understood that it's not just about girls anymore. In fact, we have a lot of people who identify as feminine, and everybody is welcome because that's the sort of the space.
Exactly.
But I had an interesting conversation where it's interesting how, women in general have always felt oppressed, and that it's been sort of a man's world. And that's been the experience of women, in that struggle. And I wonder if you find that exists in, the non-binary community as well, where, gay men first get a voice as opposed to gay women. And I wonder if that struggle is to equalize that, because I've spoken to a lot of people who say that that's still a long way to go. And I wonder if, the NBs can shed some light on that. And as you get bigger and better, maybe there is a way to also equalize that, in fact,
We would love, first of all, I'd like to say that we would love at the NBs to have a lot more non-binary participation and representation. But this is our first year. And I just feel like a lot of people take such a hard political sloganeering stance that it's hard for larger allies, especially brands, organizations, to then align with yourself, because you've upset so many systems. And I understand and I respect challenging the status quo. We are about challenging the status quo, but this platform is not about sloganeering. It is removed from people's personal politics. We've kept that aside in our, our jury members have kept that aside of their, decisions. But it's so complex to do things and make all of these, to work with the system and understand why it's important to do so.
I was saying one of the things that I love about this is that, you know, obviously there's going to be a lot of learning and there's going to be situations where people may not always understand. And just like you're saying, there will be times where it's very easy to criticize, right? It's always, and I've seen this literally in the fashion industry when you sit at Fashion Week, it's easier for people to say something that they didn't like in the show than that they did. Because it's, you know, people will always be okay with the criticism, but always wonder like, oh, why did you like something? But I think that this is our opportunity to say, you know what, we're celebrating love and people and individuality and inclusivity, and it's okay if not everybody is on board and gets it, but we're not going to let that dull our shine. And that's what I love, and I love that about your personality and what you bring to all these experiences. And I can tell you personally, Elton, the amount of people you have personally touched just from meeting you is phenomenal, whether they are from here, wherever they're from, just the way you treat your team. It's just a delight to be around you, that whole experience. It's never that I'm just waiting to get ready for the red carpet. The Elton experience is that personality. And I think you've given the NBs your personality. And that's why I'm really excited about it. Let me ask you a question, Elton. What are you most excited about the NBs?
Celebrating my fellow queers. There's nothing more important to me. We want people to feel like we're bringing new light, mainstream light, through Azan at the Hub and through Malini at Miss Malini Entertainment. We want to bring mainstream light and focus to everybody's individual brand, everybody's individual person. And for most of our categories that needed it, of course, the prerequisite was that either the person or their work has to stand for something that's operating outside of the binary. But for me, the larger umbrella is the queer umbrella and being underrepresented. So what's better than holding hands of our allies, walking these bridges together? You know, there's a nice intersectionality here, and we can all sort of explore how we navigate through this entire queer movement, you know, and bring more light to non-binary people and all your contributions and skills and what you stand for. So that's what
it's such a nice evolution from the usual conversation. Like I always have these conversations when it comes to women, and I'm so tired of people empowering women. Like I'm over it. I'm tired of people liberating women and empowering women. I'm like, we are fine. Just get out of our way because we're moving fast. You know, literally, you don't have to empower. And I love that that's what the NBs is, a new conversation. It's not about just the same conversation about equality and rights. It's saying, let's move forward and let's celebrate and let's acknowledge. And that's what I love. It's a step forward.
And also about our Lotus. I mean, Ishan, you'd be the right person to talk about our few elements that you keep seeing.
Obviously, the major element here is the award. And I feel like we said, yes, there are people winning, but we should note that it's not so much about like who's winning. The winning is a small token of appreciation and encouragement. It's also the larger picture is acknowledging people who've done work in this realm, in this field, and bringing them to light and bringing them more visibility. Now, coming to the elements, yes, I think Elton's obsession with lotuses was very interesting. And what I liked about it the most was...
They're all over my body.
Yeah, initially when he told me how I want to use the lotus, I was like, oh my God, controversial, BJP, etc. But then I actually liked the twist we got into it because we were like, forget the BJP, forget all of that. Let's reclaim the lotus. Like it's our national flower. It stands for so much more than something political. Yeah. It stands for something that rises, like grows even in like a keychad or like a pond, and like it's a beautiful flower. It ignores everything around it. The leaves are almost latexy, where you put water or anything on it, just slides off. So I feel like for me, the lotus represents that kind of resistance, and not just resistance, but like standing strong and looking beautiful and proud, no matter like where you are, what your surroundings are, what you've been through, and letting the dirt slide off you without letting it stay on you for too long. And I feel like that's the emphasis of the lotus here. And that's what at least the lotus represents here. And that's why even the bust that we designed looks beaten. It's been through like abuse of whatever sort. It's been through things. So it tells a story. It's not like a clear kind of bust, which is just standing tall and beautiful. It's kind of like slightly like out, but it's also trying to rise. It's also like a little bit bent and it's eroded. Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to highlight, since Azan, I don't want you to feel ignored, but want to highlight how the Hub and I have actually met. I think it's great that the Hub has LGBT staff and teammates. Their teammate Samrudh, who interviewed me on one of their Hub videos. This was just talking about general things about my work as a makeup artist, etc. And then it became something else. And, we started connecting and speaking and bonding over things. So I'm very glad for your allyship, Hub, Azan at the Hub. Do convey our regards to the office as well. But I want to ask, how do you guys feel about all of the comments? Does it confuse you further? Do you feel like, oh my God, we stepped into the wrong space? Or
No, not at all, Elton. Actually, quite the opposite. I think we've spent the last 4 years trying to create physical spaces that were conducive to learning and being open-minded and just like exploring new things, being a safe space for people to kind of open up and learn. And over the last few months since the lockdown, we've gone completely online, and we're trying to recreate kind of that same safe space online. And it's been amazing because in a way you can leverage brands and people's personal platforms on Instagram or on social media to kind of bring huge amount of attention to what you're doing. But at the same time, like Malini very rightly said, it's very easy for people to critique. That's why they're called critiques. And everyone has an opinion on the internet, and you kind of have to have that thick skin to believe in what you're trying to do and your intent. And let everyone know that it is a learning process. This is the first time we're doing something like this. But it's been super exciting and super energizing to be around you and the entire team and to be part of this.
Thank you, Azan. I think we've had a great conversation. Thank you so much for all of your time. I'd like to end with a little bite from each of you on advice to young queer people.
I mean, I guess for me, it's been quite an interesting journey to just watch what everybody has gone through. And I think that I have so many friends who have shared with me some of the most, traumatic things they've been through, but they've also shared how they have found so much love and respect and validation in things they've done. And I think the industry that we work in, we have to give it some credit for actually being probably one of the most open-minded industries when it comes to entertainment and beauty and fashion. Just the ability to express yourselves, and all of us to express ourselves without it defining us. I very rarely find that in this industry it becomes about, oh, this person is gay and let's look. That's not what you're known as. You're known as a fabulous designer. You're known as a fabulous stylist or a fabulous makeup artist. And I love that. And those are the experiences I like to highlight.
Yeah, so I would just say, the whole idea of even the age that we live in now and breaking a lot of norms and things that we come from, society's conditioned us to think a certain way, to also label people, label things, like how Malini said, it's better to label someone from their work and what they do rather than where they come from, what they're born into, what they identify as, say, from their caste, religion, sexual orientation, whatever that is. And while we're trying to de-label, let's not relabel in new ways, I feel like there's a lot of relabeling happening where people feel like they need to fit into this label or that, or be non-conforming by conforming to a new idea of non-conformity.
Azan, I'd love to hear your feedback.
Yeah, Elton, we've been talking to so many different people from different backgrounds. And one thing which particularly stood out to us when we love asking people, what does community mean to you? And a very interesting answer that we tend to keep coming back to is support. And it's just been incredible. One of the positive things to come out of this whole pandemic is, they say it's always easier to unite when you have a common enemy. And I think if you're optimistic and you're looking at all the amazing things that we've been able to do, the connections we've made, in so many ways, I feel I've been able to make stronger connections virtually and online than I have in person.
And let's celebrate while we're fighting. We are all fighting for bigger causes and things we stand for, and that's really good. But let's not forget to celebrate as well alongside.
True spirit of allyship. We can all hold hands together and help each other cross. Let's celebrate all our winners that are coming up now. I hope you're going to stay peeled to your screens to acknowledge and celebrate all our 15 categories of winners that lie ahead. Thank you so much, folks, for your time. I'd love to see you guys soon after the award, for the after party, perhaps.
Now that we've gotten to know our partners a little better, I'd like to go right into our first award of the evening. This is the Transformer Award and recognizes a non-binary individual that has overcome immense adversity and emerged to use their voice and their platform for greater good. We'd love to present this award to Assay Padmashali, recipient of the Rajyotsav Prashasti the second highest civilian honor of the state of Karnataka in India, recipient of an honorary doctorate from the Indian Virtual University for Peace and Education, being the first transgender person in the country to get a driving license stating her gender as female, and the first trans person in Karnataka to register their marriage in the state, Akai Padmashali, founder of the organization Onded, which advocates for the rights of women, children, and sexual minorities, has been invited by the President of India to attend the swearing-in ceremony of the Chief Justice of India. Akai was the first trans woman invited to be a part of the town hall by former US President Barack Obama during his visit to India, and she received an invitation to the US White House in 2015. The activist, motivational speaker, and singer has staunchly opposed Section 377, and rightly so, via a petition, and also stands against the Transgender Persons Act of 2019. Over to you.
Thank you so much. I have no words to speak and to describe for this recognition. I thank the entire team from the Maybelline and all my friends who recommended my name and who selected me for this August award. I think it's a new thing for me to accept. I think these sort of recognitions also build some amount of huge social responsibility. I'm happy to receive this award, and thank you, and so many other new items that has come to me, be it your makeup. I have never done it before, but I should try maybe because of this recognition. Thank you.
That was our Transformer Award. Thank you so much, Maybelline New York, and thank you, Akai Padmashali, for making it tonight to the NBs 2020. Next, we have a wonderful artist and a very beautiful young NB. This is Zishan Ali, Bangalore-based makeup artist, a fashion god, a style diva, and Zishan also is a fantastic performative artist in drag. He's performed at various venues, including the Kitty Sue clubs at the Lalit Hotel Group, which is famous for drag performances. And Zishan has also graced a digital cover of Vogue India magazine. So come on, Zishan, let's have you.
Thank you so much, Elton, for giving such a lovely introduction. I would really like to congratulate on this amazing initiative that you've come up with, NBs. It's such an inclusive place to speak about love and introduce artists that need that support. And I'm grateful to you for coming up with this beautiful initiative. I'm so grateful to be part of this amazing, beautiful family.
Thank you. We're grateful to have you, and especially because we deal in the same trade and the same craft. It's all the more exciting for me. So thank you for coming on. So what we have for you, Zishan, today. Now we know you've created a multitude of fantastical looks across your makeup career. How long has that career spanned?
Around 4 to 5 years now. Around 5 years, yes.
Okay, so it's been 5 years of doing makeup, and that's a lot of products that you've used.
You know it.
I want to know the budget. How much of money have you spent on all of this makeup?
Oh, the budget. Oh, the budget.
Well, so this year we have Maybelline sponsoring the event. So we do have Zishan using a lot of Maybelline products. Is there any key products that you're going to be incorporating into your look?
One of my basic foundations that is so versatile is basically the Fit Me foundation. It works on mostly on all skin types, and it has such a wide range of colors. So I specifically love to work with that. And the eyeliner, I think the felt tip liner is perfect, defined, and gives me the fine line which I require.
Yeah, like I've got that line tattoo liner on it.
Right? Look at the edges, look at the lines, dimensions.
We try. So Zishan, the NBs is going to give you a quick challenge. All right?
Tell me.
Now, the trick is not the challenge. The trick is that you have to finish the challenge in under 30 minutes. Are you up for it?
Oh, okay.
So, a fantastic beauty look like you are famous for. But in
I'm getting
30
excited now.
Okay, so we can't wait to see what it's like. We'll talk about it once we're fully done and ready.
Done.
Right, so we'll let you have your 30 minutes and your clock starts now.
I'm on it. Bye.
Our next award is the Bodhi Scion Award, and to present this, we call upon our lovely, very shy jury member, Praful Baveja. This award recognizes a young Indian that shows incredible leadership qualities, who affects greater global change by championing for conservation and the environment and for a better world. One future. The stage is yours, Praful.
Thank you for that introduction, Elton. This award in particular, the Bodhi Scion Award, goes to anybody whose work transcends the binary in art, in design thinking, in sustainability. And who better than Waylon D'Souza to wear it this year? Waylon's work transcends so many boundaries. He trained in multiple countries and he works across mediums. On one hand, Waylon is a performer for fire and fire art, and he's traveled across Azerbaijan and India for it. And his installation art, his multimedia pieces are talk of the town, majorly in Goa, where he resides. And there's this delicate balance of environment-friendly material and understanding of how the ecology works that Waylon's work reflects. And we are so glad that for the very first NB's Bodhi Scion, it's Waylon D'Souza. Give it up, everybody, for Waylon D'Souza.
Hey Praful, thank you for the wonderful introduction. I'd like to thank everyone at the NBs and their supporters for all the hard work they've put in to acknowledge my work. I'm honored to receive this award. It inspires me to bring together diverse fields with even more zeal and bring mindfulness to them and garden a sustainable legacy. I hope more of you join me on this journey.
Thank you so much, Praful, and congratulations, Waylon. Our next award for the evening is the #Warrior Award. Now, this award recognizes substantial digital, non-binary, LGBTQ+ action and advocacy that is current and relevant to the issues faced by the queer Indian community at present. We have special guests from Instagram India presenting this award tonight. We thought it fitting since we just celebrated Instagram's 10th birthday this year, so #IG turns 10. And we'd love to thank Saket at Instagram and the team, Ankit and everyone else, for partnering with the Non-Binary Awards 2020 and helping us really just increase our audience. So thank you so much for that. I'd love to have you present our winner with the award.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction, Elton. It's an honor to be here. At Instagram, nothing is more important to us than inclusion and diversity. And the NBs beautifully epitomize that. It's an idea whose time has truly come. And we are really excited to be partnering with it. Tonight, I'm here to present the #Warrior Award. The #Warrior Award is an award for exemplary action-oriented work, which really supports the advocacy for LGBTQ rights in India. The winner of the #Warrior Award is Krupali Bidai. Krupali is a journalist, a storyteller, and a social activist who has worked for advocacy of trans rights for over 2 decades. Congratulations, Krupali.
She is a journalist, a storyteller, and proud social activist. Has been an ally and advocate of trans rights over the last 2 decades. She strongly advocates for equal rights for all and has championed many initiatives in the social inclusion design and development at the Social Inclusion Task Force for the Government of Chhattisgarh. In 2017, she won the Volunteer Hero Award for her conceptualization of Joy for All, an initiative of love for the trans and Hijra empowerment Mela, a first of its kind, focused on empowering entrepreneurship within our transgender communities. She continues to do this work currently and works in civic engagement as a program officer for social inclusion, gender diversity, and communications at Shodhana Consultancy, actively involved in creating change and advocating for underrepresented communities in our society. Congratulations, Kripali.
Thank thank you very much for awarding me the NB #Warrior Award. Thank you very much, the Non-Binary Awards powered by Maybelline New York. Thank you, Elton John Fernandez, for conceptualizing such a beautiful concept of bringing in the Non-Binary Awards into the digital platform also. And I wholeheartedly thank the Hub Bengaluru, the entire team, for conceptualizing the event and coordinating with all of us, Miss Malini, and of course the jury that I got to know has unanimously chosen me and researched on the internet and got information and chosen me. So thank you so much. All I want to say is that the idea of non-binary concept really resonates with me. In my journey of last 15 years that I've been working with the community, I have learned a lot, I have understood, I have grown up as an individual, as a human being, and have come to accept the world in a very broader frame, and which does not exist only in airtight containers. It goes beyond the binaries. I've been advocating for this all across my advocacy with the governments. So it comes as a welcome surprise that a platform like this has acknowledged the work that we have been doing at Anam Prem Parivar with the transgender persons community all across India in the past 15 years. So on behalf of this beautiful group called Anam Prem Parivar and my trans community, I wholeheartedly thank you for awarding me this #Warrior NB Awards 2020. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, our allies at Instagram and Facebook, and thank you, Kripali Bidaya, for taking the time to come accept our award. We are blessed to have you on the show. To all of you watching, don't forget our hashtags for the evening. We've got #IG turns10. We are partnering with Instagram, so don't forget to tag Instagram, IG turns 10. There's #TheNBs 2020, #Non-Binary Awards 10/10/2020, and #non-binary. Don't forget to take photos of you watching the awards with our hashtags. Our next presentation is a comedy sketch in drag. Now, you'll only catch this sort of entertainment if you've stepped into a gay club. So for those of you that have not had the chance or the opportunity to step into a gay club, we bring you a beautiful drag sketch featuring two wonderful drag artists. This is Suraj Rajkova playing herself as Glorious Luna, and Ayushman Aishwarya playing Lush Monsoon. Over to you, queens.
Welcome to the NBs. Now that the tea is piping hot,
lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transsexuals, NBs, gender non-conforming, asexuals, genderqueers, butch queens, femtops, LGBTQIA+, STVUWXYZ. Oh, honey, I hope I didn't miss anybody.
I don't think so. Tonight, we at the NBs, we have all the stars, yars, and kalakars in the house.
Where? Where are these stars? Who are these stars? कौन है ये लोग जिसने दोबारा मुड़ के हमें नहीं देखा?
No, but really, who are they giving all the awards to? Because all the stars and the talent is right here.
Yes, queen, word mama.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Baya, नींबू मिलेगा? नींबू? नींबू.
Hurrah!
Nimura, Assay, certified free, 7 days a week. Wet, make that game weak. Yeah, 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 yeah. You dealing with some wet. Bring up and I'm out with this wet. Give me everything you got, put this wet. Beat it up, baby, catch a charge. Extra and extra. Put this right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a giggle, I'm kinda wild. Look at my mouth, look at my thighs. It's wet, come take a dive. Tie me up like I'm surprised. Let's role play, I wear disguise. I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Make me dream, make it stream. Out in public, make the scene. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring.
Gobble me, swallow me, drip down inside of me. Quick jump out for you, let it get inside of me. I tell them where to put it, never tell them where I'm about to be. I run down on them before I have a running me. Talk your shop, bite your lip. Ask for a call while you ride that. While you really ain't never got him for a thing. He already made his mind up for you. Now get your boots, hang your coat. It's wet. He bought a phone just for pictures of this wet. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet. Now make it rain if you wanna see some wet. Look at
That was hilarious. Thank you so much, Luna and Lush. Suraj and Ayushman. I got used to saying your drag names. Thank you, Queens. I'd like to move on to our next award. Now, this is the Rang Ras Award, a Sanskrit term that embodies the essence and color of art and aesthetics. This award brings focus to a beautiful piece of non-binary performative art or art in motion that evokes unexplainable emotion. This year, to present the Rang Ras Award, I'd like to call upon the incredible, the very beautiful, very talented Raja Kumari. Raja Kumari is an Indian-American rapper, songwriter, and singer from California. She is known for her incredible artistry and her collaboration with notable artists like Gwen Stefani, Iggy Azalea, Fifth Harmony, Fall Out Boy. She's received a BMI Pop Awards in 2016 as a songwriter and nominated for a Grammy in Feb 2015. She's also featured on BBC's Asian Network program called Bobby Friction in 2016. Kumari holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Religious Studies with an emphasis on South Indian religions. She is an Indian classical dancer who started dancing at the age of 7. And while in the 5th grade, Kumari discovered hip-hop through the Fugees album that I love so much. By the age of 14, she was a noticed freestyle MC known as the Indian Princess or Raja Kumari. Now that we know how Shweta Rao became Raja Kumari, I want you to know that Raja has contributed to several philanthropic activities through her performances, including the creation of a hospital in Bangalore, a meditation hall in South India, a school for children with physical disabilities. As a result, Kumari has been recognized as a benefactor by the Indic Foundation and honored with the Kohinoor Award for Excellence in the Classical Arts by the Governor of Karnataka. We are incredibly honored, Raja, to have you here to present the Rang Ras Award. Over to you, Raja.
Thank you so much for that intro, Elton. It's so amazing to see initiative like the NBs happening at a time like this. I want to sing a song for you that really defines the spirit of Mumbai. Missing you guys so much. This is City Slums. Raja Kumari, I go harder than anybody. Daughter of the king, American dream. Fir bhi dil hai Hindustani, so don't misunderstand me. I do it for the people, yes, I do it for my family. Mainly, I'm gonna get it, I'm with it, I make it run, I'm gonna get it, I'm in it until it's done. They tried to stop me, don't make the same mistake. They tried to copy, but they can't take my place. Cause oh God, all eyes on the underdog, go hard. No time for your none at all, whole squad. Four ties on the boulevard, running through the streets of dark, flowing like the Ganga. Gangotri, hey. Run and tell your mommy the streets go rup-a-bum-bum, rup-a-bum-bum, rup-a-bum-bum. Yeah, it's coming from the gully. It's coming from the city slums, city slums, city slums. Yeah. I'm Raja Kumari. Thank you so much to Maybelline, to the NBs, and to everybody out there. Wishing you love and light. And the Rung Russ Award 2020, powered by Maybelline New York, goes to Naveen Narona. Naveen Narona is India's first openly gay stand-up comedian based out of Mumbai and one of the only stand-up comedians in the country to represent the LGBTQI community. He often single-handedly fights the prevalent and sadly celebrated homophobia in the present-day stand-up comedy scene in India. The comedian, writer, improv artist, and podcaster has produced over 1,000 podcast episodes ranging from pop culture discussions, poker to sex and current affairs. He draws from his ideal kid persona in his stand-up solo, The Good Child, and owns up to his queer male identity in the Homo Odyssey, alongside comedian Nick Pillow. Congratulations, Navin.
Yes, it's me, Naveen Narona. I won this award. It says right here. I finally have an award, Mom. Actually, I don't want my mom to see me like this, but the idea is that someone like me, who's always been a clown, never quite expected to win anything in life because I was always told I'm weird, I'm fat, I'm ugly looking, or whatever. Like all these different things and adjectives that define me. But I finally decided to use my humor to, battle my insecurities. And I even wondered after I started comedy if it's worth doing it. And definitely now, after 5 years, when you see an award like this, it makes you feel appreciated. So a big thank you to the jury, a big thank you to Maybelline New York, to Elton and his entire team, all the sponsors, and everybody who's trying to make this a bigger event than it can be because of the lockdown and everything. We are stuck. And that's not dampened our spirit, hasn't dampened mine for sure. I've been doing comedy. And hence this whole look today is something my boyfriend Abhi helped me with, and we put it together as a homage to my clown origins. I always used to recite Chris Farley's clown prayer whenever I used to get on stage early in my comedy. It's because I think we have an urgent need in this world to make people laugh, to make bad things seem okay for a little bit, and that's my role in the world, and I'll keep doing that. So thank you so much again for giving this award. And I'll see you all at the after party, the extra after party. Bye.
Thank you so much, Raja and Naveen. That was great. Now, I'd like to present the next award, the L&M Award, myself, and I'll tell you why in a bit. The Literature and Music Award recognizes musicians, singers, composers, writers, poets, authors, publishers, and related LGBTQ+ superstars. This year, we have chosen across our jury to present the award to Dr. Ruth Vanitha. Dr. Ruth Vanitha is an academic, activist, and author who specializes in gender studies, lesbian and gay studies, and South Asian literary history. The professor of English and World Cultures at the University of Montana has co-authored Same-Sex Love in India with Salim Kidwai, co-founded Manushi, a journal about women and society, and has written about the works of Urdu poets of the 18th and 19th centuries. Dr. Vanitha's PhD was on Virginia Woolf's exploration of the erotic life, and her first published essay on same-sex love was about Rosalind and Celia in Shakespeare's As You Like It. Some of her acclaimed books include Queering India, Same-Sex Love and Eroticism in Indian Culture and Society in 2002, Love's Right, Same-Sex Marriage in India and the West in 2005, Gandhi's Tiger and Sita's Smile, Essays on Gender, Sexuality and Culture in 2005, and her most recent, Gender, Sex and the City, Urdu Rekhti Poetry, 1780 to 1870. Dr. Ruth Vanitha, this award belongs to you. Now, we couldn't get in touch with you early enough to ship this out to you in time, so here it is. This is why I wanted to present your award to you. This is our special metallic sculpted NB bust to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much for this award. Thanks to Maybelline, Benetton, Boucle, and others who have supported the awards, since most of the financial awards are going to NGOs.
To present our next category of awards, we have 2 awards within the Beaux Art category that we'll present each year. The plural of Beaux, which is Beaux with an X, stands for visually beautiful or handsome. Visual art that advocates for the larger community. This could feature filmmakers, photographers, sculptors, architects, directors, painters, illustrators, and craftsmen. But this year, we've selected 2 pieces of art, and to present these awards, I'd love to call upon our communications partners, Team Miss Malini herself.
Hi, I'm Miss Malini, and I'm so pleased to announce the winners of the Beaux Art category. Ghazal Daliwal, congratulations! Now let's take a look at Ghazal's journey. Ghazal went to the Buddha Dal Public School in Patiala and then pursued a chemical engineering degree from Malviya National Institute of Technology in Jaipur. After graduation, she joined Infosys in Mysore as a software engineer. However, Ghazal's passion lay in the world of Bollywood. So in 2005, she quit her job and moved to Mumbai. That's where she studied filmmaking at Xavier Institute of Communications for a year and assisted Govind Nilani on an animated film script. In 2014, she also appeared in the 3rd season of Satyamev Jayate, a television show dedicated to discussing social and political issues hosted by Indian actor Amir Khan, in an episode titled Accepting Alternate Sexualities. She also made her acting debut in 2015 in a short film called Ambli Bar about underprivileged children fighting for their right to land. Her screenwriting debut came with Lipstick Under My Burqa, Kareeb Kareeb Single, Ek Ladki Ko Dekha To Aisa Laga, and the short film A Monsoon Date, starring Kokana Sen Sharma. Congratulations, Ghazal.
I'm delighted to receive the NB's 2020 Beaux Art Award. You know, I think that through these awards, you're mainstreaming the beauty that exists in the LGBTQ plus community. You're bringing that beauty into focus, the physical as well as the spiritual beauty. This is the beauty that is often ignored and not accepted by the so-called mainstream. And I think these awards are mainstreaming that beauty, and I'm delighted to be a part of that. I hope to be able to tell stories of this beauty in my work in the future. I just want to thank you, NBs. Thank you so much, Elton and Maybelline New York. Thank you.
And the second winner of the Beaux Art category is none other than Apurva Asrani. Apurva is a national award-winning filmmaker based in Mumbai, India. He's best known for editing the film Satya and Shahid, the web series Made in Heaven, and directing Tera Mera Pyar, the music videos for Sony Music India. He also wrote the acclaimed human rights drama Aligarh. In May 2019, Apurva donned the director's hat for a film starring actor Manoj Bajpayee. His script about a forgotten genius battling mental health issues is being produced by Bajpayee's production house. Apurva is also an influential voice in the fight for equal rights for the LGBTQ in India. Apurva shared the Filmfare Award for Best Editing with Banodaya for their edit of Satya at the Filmfare Awards in 1999. In 2001, Apurva won the National Film Award for Best Editing for Snip, a bilingual comedy directed by Sunil Sippy. He was also nominated for a Zee Cine Award for his edit of Hansal Mehta's Chai in 2001. In 2013, Apurva won the Life OK Screen Award for Best Screenplay for Shahid, which is shared with director Hansal Mehta. In 2017, Apurva was nominated for Best Editing and Best Original Screenplay for Aligarh at the South African International Film Festival, also known as the Rapid Line Awards. Congratulations, Apurva.
I feel fabulous. I feel really lucky. I feel blessed that you thought of me to give out the very first Beaux Art Award ever, the very first NBs. This is such a beautiful trophy, guys, so beautifully designed, and I love the gold and the lotus flowers and this wonderful bust. I'm really proud to get this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Malini. Thank you, Apurva, and thank you, Ghazal. Now that we've been introduced to the winners of our Beaux Art category, I'd like to bring to the stage a wonderful musician, Alicia Bhatt. Alicia Bhatt is a singer and songwriter currently based in Mumbai, but originates from Punjab. Heavily inspired by punk, folk, the 90s, by love, by the forces and mysteries that create the magic of life. Alicia studied at the Berklee College of Music before moving to Paris to study photography. Currently represented by a fantastic and relevant talent agency called Feedcast in Mumbai as a model, Alicia continues to move hearts with her music and her fantastically powerful vocals. Here to sing her latest release, Blue River, presenting Alicia Bhatt.
Hi Elton, and thank you so much for that introduction and for bringing through this initiative, especially at a time like now where we cannot really hold one another while we celebrate people, but I think it's really beautiful that we still choose to. So thank you, very grateful to be here. Okay, I have Blue River, which is a single I released pretty recently, and it talks about love being path to healing. It's also about letting go in ways. Well, we'll see. All right. I haven't done this live yet before, so I'm excited. As a blue river runs through me, it brings me joy and peace. As a blue river runs through me, all I think of is you. All I think of is you. I don't know what to do. If ever I turn around and my heart and mind collide, the river comes to hold
Thank you so much, Alicia Bhatt. That was wonderful. Thank you so much for your presence. We move on to our next award. This is the Naz-e-Khannon Award. Now, Naz-e-Khannon is Urdu for Pride of Law. And this award recognizes and celebrates LGBTQ plus advocacy by an individual, a group, or an organization that affects changes in public policy. Naz-e-Khannon NB Award 2020, powered by Maybelline New York, goes to the Alternative Law Forum. Now, the Alternative Law Forum, started in 2000, focuses on supporting marginalized groups in our society. Their practice arose from the strong belief that there was a need for an alternative practice of law in India. Over the last 20 years, ALF have grown to become a space that integrates many different types of legal, political, and social issues by using a unique interdisciplinary approach and working with practitioners from many different fields in order to provide these much-needed legal services to marginalized and underrepresented groups in society. We'd love to present this award to ALF, the Alternative Law Forum.
Thanks to NB Awards for giving this award to the Alternative Law Forum. I'd just like to briefly mention the kind of work the ALF has done in the last 20 years. The Alternative Law Forum has been actively involved in working on the rights of LGBTI persons. In particular, ALF has been part of the legal team which represented LGBT persons, both in the High Court and in the Supreme Court. And in 2018, when the judgment in Navtej Singh Johar came, we were incredibly happy because we saw the judgment as really a vindication of the struggle of LGBTI people around the country. And we feel that while we have achieved a very important milestone, there's still a long, long way to go in terms of achieving a world which is truly respectful of the rights and the dignity of LGBTI persons. In short, our struggle will be to continue to mold or to continue to cultivate constitutional morality and displace what Dr. Ambedkar called popular morality. To go back to what Dr. Ambedkar said, he made the point that constitutional morality is not a natural sentiment. Our people have yet to learn it, and that democracy in India is a top dressing on a soil which is essentially undemocratic. So our task going ahead is really to cultivate constitutional morality, to displace popular morality, and to ensure that all LGBTI people have the equal right to dignity and freedom as every other person living in the Indian context. Thank you.
Congratulations, Arvind, and thank you so much for accepting our award on behalf of the Alternative Law Forum. Do enjoy the rest of the evening. Our next award is the Meghadood Award. Sanskrit for Cloud Messenger, this award celebrates any LGBTQ plus individual of Indian origin that represents queer India on a global stage, thereby making India proud. And the Meghadood Award this year goes to an Indian professional sprinter and our current national champion in the women's 100 meters event. She is the third Indian woman to ever qualify for the women's 100 meters event at the Summer Olympic Games. A fierce champion from a family of weavers and a vocal advocate of athletes' rights over their own bodies, she spent her nights as a young teen at bus stops, benches, and railway stations to be able to train in Bhubaneswar, 80 kilometers away from her home in the Chakagopalpur village of Odisha. Having clinched 2 bronze medals at the Asian Athletics Championships in 2017, she won the silver medal in the women's 100 meters finals. It was India's first medal in this event since 1998. She then bagged her second silver at the Asian Games in the women's 200 meters final. In 2019, she became the first Indian sprinter to win a gold at the Universiade, clocking 11.32 seconds in the 100 meter race. Earlier in 2014, she was effectively banned from competing as a female because of high testosterone levels in her body, a clinical condition called hyperandrogenism. She was then 18 and appealed the verdict at the Court of Arbitration for Sport. and won a landmark case, setting a precedent for other athletes facing contentious bans. India's first athlete to openly come out as a member of our LGBTQ+ community, she's regarded the ruling on Section 377 as an impetus for her to take her personal relationship forward, becoming an icon for the Indian LGBT population. To celebrate the latest feather in her cheerful cap, the NBs would like to congratulate Duti Chand on recently winning the prestigious Arjuna Award, the sports honor of the Republic of India. Congratulations, Duti Chand, and congratulations on winning the Meghadood Award.
हाय नमस्कार, मैं हूँ दुती चंद, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय खिलाड़ी ओलंपियन अर्जुन अवार्ड। पहले मैं धन्यवाद दूँगी मेबेलिन न्यूयॉर्क टीम को, जिन्होंने इस बार मुझे मेघदूत अवार्ड दे रहे हैं। मुझे बहुत खुशी महसूस हो रहा है। मैं सभी का धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगी। इस बार मुझे इतनी बड़ी अच्छी अवार्ड मुझे इस बार मिल रहा है। तो मैं तो यही कहूँगी कि प्यार करना कोई गुनाह नहीं है, प्यार किसी के साथ भी हो सकता है। मुझे बहुत खुशी महसूस हो रही है। मैं जिसको प्यार कर रही थी इसके साथ रहने के लिए वादा लिया, और काफ़ी लोग मुझे बुरे नज़र में देखना शुरू किया था, लेकिन अभी बहुत लोग मुझे सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं। तो मैं तो यही कहूँगी प्यार किसी के साथ कर सकते हैं और ज़िंदगी किसी के साथ भी गुजार सकते हैं। जैसे मैं बाहर आई, जैसे इंडिया की संस्कृति परंपरा के देश में कोई आगे नहीं आते थे, खुद के प्यार के बारे में किसी को बता नहीं पाते थे, लेकिन मैं पहली वो एक लड़की है जो स्पोर्ट पर्सनालिटी जो दुनिया को आके मेरे खुद के लव के बारे में दुनिया को बताई। काफ़ी लोगों ने मुझे सपोर्ट भी किया है। मुझे बहुत खुशी महसूस हो रहा है कि मेरी पार्टनर के साथ मैं ज़िंदगी भर रह सकूँगी अभी। तो मुझे LGBTQ कम्युनिटी की तरफ से मुझे इतनी बड़ी अवार्ड मुझे मिल रहा है, मुझे बहुत खुशी महसूस हो रहा है। मेरी तरफ से सबके धन्यवाद है।
Thank you so much, Duti. We hope you have a lovely evening ahead. Congratulations. Now, our next two awards are going to be for a category called Social Kinship. One going to an individual and the next award going to an organization. These are the only two awards on our set of 15 awards that do not have an age limit of 50, because we realize that to create such spaces for the larger community requires a lot of time that one has put in, whether it's through advocacy, whether it's through some sort of activism. And for this reason, we don't have an age limit for the Social Kinship category. To present our first Social Kinship Individual category award, I'd love to call upon our entrepreneur, fantastic publisher, and jury member, Shobna Kumar.
It is an honor to present the Social Kinship Individual Award to an individual who goes beyond and above the call of the personal duty to provide familiar safe spaces. This activist I have known for a long time, and also as a writer who has a lot of passion and to serve the transgender communities, and goes about her work with absolute zeal. I'm proud and honored to present this award to Lakshmi Narayan Tripathi.
It is such an honor to win a dignified award tonight and to be part of the entire fraternity with all of you. It's an honor that you all have chosen me to be a part of this beautiful award ceremony, and I thank the jury for awarding me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shobna, and thank you, Lakshmi Narayan Tripathi. We are so honored to have you on the Non-Binary Awards 2020 powered by Maybelline New York. I, for one, most of us have grown up watching your advocacy and watching you perform wonderfully and do wonderful things in your life. We can't wait to see you progress even further in years to come. 10 awards down, and we're finally ready to have Zishan back in our playground from his playground. Let's have a reveal. Oh, girl. Yes, queen.
Hello, my love. How are you?
I am impacted.
Grace.
This is a high impact look. Thank you, Zishan. You want to run us through what you've used and how you've achieved it and what the look stands for?
So I just wanted to play with the black and white, showcasing all the true colors that I have right now. White is my soul and black is my gold.
Why the hell not?
So, I basically use Maybelline Colossal Liner to create all these fabulous lines on my face to match with my outfit.
Outfit, of course.
To give me the perfect base for it.
It does, and I love how those lines come out of your hair piece also, and they're in your nose. It's fantastic, and in the background, so well thought of.
Thank you so much.
So what's the lip about? I love the mouth. What's that
It's
about?
basically defined with using the same eyeliner. I just defined the lines of my lip and then layered it down with a lot of pigment just to give that show the shimmery glow.
That is fantastic. And I think all of this in 30 minutes, you stuck to the timeline. I think that's the biggest achievement. So congratulations on that.
Much quicker than 30 minutes if I'm not wrong. I gotta check the timing now.
There you go. Well, it's yeah, this is definitely your moment. So take a moment, give us a screenshot so people can take a photograph. Okay, strike pose, and I'm gonna take a screenshot with your fan, perhaps. Yeah. Yeah. Love it, Zeej. Love it.
Thank you, darling.
So proud of having you. I'm so thankful for this great look that you put together.
Thank you so much for having me on this first edition of NB. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Elton, for this phenomenal platform that you've worked on and created. And all the sponsors that are part of this hub, Maybelline for this beautiful mug. Thank you so much. Such an honor to be here.
See you, Zishan.
Bye.
Bye. We move on to our next Social Kinship Organizational Award. Now, this award goes to a foundation that has been working towards addressing issues of HIV and AIDS and sexuality since 1994. Founded by Anjali Gopalan and based out of New Delhi, India, they have worked to strengthen and support services to people living with HIV and AIDS and counseling for LGBTQIA+ communities. Today, this foundation operates out of Delhi, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Punjab, and has reached over 62,000 children's hearts. In 2006, after realizing that adolescent women and girls were among the most vulnerable to be infected with HIV, the NAS Foundation started a women's empowerment program involving both sport and a comprehensive life skill education program. Due to their strong focus on advocacy, NAS, or the NAS Foundation, successfully challenged the archaic 377 law, which criminalized homosexuality. By engaging, expanding, and energizing communities, their goal is to build a vibrant ecosystem of individuals. Congratulations to the NAS Foundation. We have Anjali Gopalan herself to accept this award.
I'm really excited that an award that's even been termed as something as a social kinship award has been instituted, because I think it's wonderful when organizations get acknowledged for the work they're doing, because it just gives them so much more of a fillip. So I'm so glad that this has happened. I'd like to thank Maybelline, Elton Fernandez, and NB Awards 2020 for this wonderful initiative.
Congratulations to the NAS Foundation, and thank you, Anjali Gopalan, for accepting our award. We hope you have a wonderful evening ahead. Don't forget to take photos with our winners, presenters, performers, and hosts, and your computer screens, of course. And don't forget to tag us on your social media. We've got hashtags IG turns 10, since we are partnering with Instagram and Facebook to present these awards to you. We also have a hashtag the NBs 2020, hashtag non-binary awards 1010-2020, and hashtag non-binary. We hope to see your social media posts and reshare the same. Presenting our next performer, this incredible artist has a versatile career cutting across multiple forms of the entertainment industry. A music producer, composer, playback singer, film actor, editor, and a celebrated indie pop artist. Her uniqueness in creativity stems from combining multidisciplinary art with activism, which stands out as an independent identity and a voice of the generations. At 17, she shot to fame and gained iconic status by winning her place in the all-girl band Viva. Any guesses yet? That is absolutely right. Anushka Manchanda has a creative and curious mind, and this took her through various adventures to play multiple roles on music TV as a show host and VJ on Channel V and MTV. Anushka is a winner of Fear Factor, the Indian celebrity version. Her first Bollywood track went platinum. Her versatile singing voice is embedded in over 100 songs across multiple languages. Post studying music production, Anushka reintroduced herself as Nuka, an artist with an electronic edge, capable of fusing Indian soulful elements with raw bass lines, aiming to express herself without adulteration or censorship. It's no wonder that her vocals were seamlessly integrated into our very own NB 3D launch video. If you haven't watched it, check it out. That's Anushka doing a nice alap for us. Thank you so much, Anushka. Her first music video as Nuka, Don't Be Afraid, is a cinematic feast that outlines the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Presenting Nuka with Don't Be Afraid.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Elton. It's so amazing to see this beautiful dream become this beautiful reality. Congratulations to you and to your entire team and everyone that's involved. This is fantastic. And I'm so happy that I can be a part of this. And tonight I'm going to sing you a song called Don't Be Afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be alarmed. I will not fire. I am unarmed. Show me your dreams. What's in your heart? Tell me all your secrets. Tell me what you want. With these open arms, all I have is open arms. I will hold you close with these open arms. Everybody has a weakness that they're working hard to hide. What you see upon the surface isn't always what's inside. You may think you're in this by yourself, but look, you're not alone. There's a pocket full of life you know you get to call your own. Everybody has a weakness that they're working hard to hide. What you see upon the surface isn't always what's inside. You may think you're in this by yourself, but look, you're not alone. There's a pocket full of life you know you get to call your own. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Oh my God, Anushka, that was incredible. Thank you so much. I'm so overwhelmed with all of the performances today. All of you performers, each one of you have been so wonderful. And I there's something so intimate, right, about sharing music from the inside of an artist's home, and you really feel that connect, and the nature of the session is so intimate. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'd love for Anushka to present our next award. This is the Mithradu Award. Anushka will explain what the award is.
Ooh, this is exciting. Okay, before I present this award, I want to say a quick thank you to Maybelline for helping to make this happen and congratulate the NBs for this fantastic night tonight. I get to present the Mithradu Award, which recognizes true on-ground and consistent allyship by cishet allies. And this award goes to Aruna Desai from Swika Rainbow Parents. Woohoo!
Parental support goes a long way in helping LGBTQ+ children come to terms with their sexuality. and in creating awareness about the cause that's mired in prejudice, despite the landmark Supreme Court ruling that decriminalized homosexuality in India. Swikar is meant to help parents so that they, in turn, can help their children. Started in October 2016 by fantastic filmmaker Sridhar Rangayan. He's also the director of the 2018 film Evening Shadows, which is fantastic, and the founder of the Kashish Mumbai International Queer Film Festival. Swikar understands how parental support goes a long way in helping LGBTQ+ children come to terms with their sexuality and in creating awareness. Swikar helps parents truly accept their children. Aruna Desai, the group administrator, who despite being initially unaware of homosexuality, supported her son Abhishek when he came out 11 years ago. She has since educated herself through books, attended talks and meetings with other parents, and participated in gay pride parades, including the parade in Vietnam. Aruna Desai and other parents of LGBT children, like filmmaker Chitra Palekar, have always been vocal in their support of their children even before the group was formed. With full hearts and a hell of a lot of gratitude, all of us would like to thank all of you at Swikar Rainbow Parents for everything you stand for.
It's a very nice feeling that your work is getting recognized. So thank you very much for this beautiful Mithradu Award and the gift hamper. I want to take this opportunity to thank Elton, Maybelline, NBs, and Boucle and Bennett in India and Roshan. Every one of you on behalf of Swikar the Rainbow Parents. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aruna, for accepting that award, and thank you, Anushka. We'll move on to our next award of the evening. Our lucky award number 13 is the Lighthouse Award. This award recognizes young organizations that act as beacons of hope via substantial digital queer advocacy, inclusive on-ground activity, and by fostering a sense of community. Now, to have a very special guest presenting the Lighthouse Award this year, this is Parmesh Shahani, an author, LGBTQ inclusion advocate, and vice president at Godrej Industries Limited. Parmesh Shahani is the much-loved head of the Godrej India Culture Lab. The lab is an award-winning experimental ideas space. Parmesh serves as a part of FICCI's inaugural D&I task force and as a board member of Koj International Artists Association. He has been a TED Senior Fellow 2017, a Yale World Fellow in 2014, a World Economic Forum Young Global Leader in the same year, and an Utrecht University Impact Fellow in 2012. He's been an Academy member of the Global Teachers Prize. Now, Parmesh is often found gracing several lists with his quirky style, lists like the Financial Times 25 Indians to Watch, India Today's Independence Special List, or GQ's Fashion List. You can even catch Parmesh on national television. Congratulations on all your big wins and your latest book. We'll let you present the Lighthouse Award.
Hi, this is Parmesh Shahani, and I am so proud to present the Lighthouse Award to Ya All Manipur Youth Collective, Saddam Hanjaba. Saddam, congratulations. You are a very, very, very proud and worthy recipient of this award.
Thank you so much for honoring us with the Lighthouse Award. Thank you so much to NV's, Alton, and Maybelline New York. And thank you so much for the gift hamper. It's wonderful. So yeah, I'm really thankful to Benetton, India, Rawson, Bokel, and Maybelline New York. Thank you.
Congratulations, Saddam, and thank you so much, Parmesh, for presenting that award for us. Now, 2 more awards left to go. The Chinna Chinna Assay Award and the Roundtable Award are both what I call the investment prize money winning categories. Right now, for the Chinna Chinna Assay Award, we have raised 100,000 Indian rupees. For the NB Roundtable Award, we have raised 200,000 Indian rupees. And in addition to these 2 prize winning categories, we also are putting aside money that we've raised towards something that we call the NB Health Fund. Now, this health fund we're partnering with Give India. Let me read you something about Give India. India's most trusted online giving platform. Give India exists to alleviate poverty by enabling the world to give. Established in 2000, Give India has impacted 8 million lives across India by connecting 1.5 million donors and 150 plus partners to 1,500 plus verified non-profits. The idea, like Venkat Krishnan, the founder of Give India, has once said, the idea of Give India was born very simply to bridge the gap between 2 sets of people. People who want to give, who want to try and make a difference, along with those who are doing phenomenal work but don't know how to reach out to people who want to support them. Thank you so much, Venkat, and thank you, Team Give India, for partnering with us and making this fund, the NB Health Fund, accessible for queer mental health, for those queer people across India that will reach out to you, your partners and your affiliates. They simply cannot afford or access counseling and therapeutic sessions. So thank you so much for your partnership. We truly appreciate it. 13 awards down, we've also spoken about queer mental health. We are now ready to introduce you to our wonderful panel of our jury members, the Envy's 2020 powered by Maybelline New York. Presenting to you our first jury member, Shobna Kumar. Woo! Woohoo! Shobna had initially planned a trampoline entrance, but it's Zainab is coming in on horse carriage. Presenting Zainab Patel.
Hi there.
Praful Baweja just woken up from his sleep. Shashank Devgekar, I think he was just cooking chole and bhature. And he was
She ate all of it, darling.
And Aditi Rao Hydari doing Jadu Pocha of the house. You'll never catch her doing that.
What a bitch.
Now, Zainab works at KPMG as the head of inclusion and diversity. So I'm sure Zainab has some important input for us.
You know, we've just passed Independence Month, and there is this very strong feeling of belonging. So belonging either to families of choice or your natal families. You know, in all of the work that you do remember that no one chooses to be homosexual or LGBTIQ. It is just as natural and normal as you are. And the least that you could do as parents, siblings, friends, extended family is to offer love and hope to everyone, because hate is an emotion that you learn about it while love comes to you naturally. So for the sake of humanity and for the sake of belonging, all we expect you to do is open your arms to all of your LGBTIQ family, colleagues and friends and make the world a slightly more better place to live in.
Yeah, we couldn't have put it better. Shobna Kumar has words to share as well.
Yeah, I'm much more interested in literature, how we are, the queer Indians are represented in literature and in films. Mm-hmm. And I started off queering about 10 years ago as just to collate resources.
Yes.
And then we discovered, you know, there's hardly any resources for about 10% of 1.3 billion people. We have less than 200 books with ISBNs that have central LGBT characters. So that spurred on us for us to sort of get into publishing. Then we got into films. And then now we're actually into discovering and promoting current queer works that's already been there. The other thing we discovered is that people don't get much media space, or people don't actually get, the mainstream don't get to see us simply because we are not in the mainstream. So I'm using Queer Ink as a platform to push forward books and films
I think for most of the parts of our life where you are shunned by your immediate family, by the people whom you love, by society in general, where you're basically living the life of a destitute, um, it's all about surviving, becoming resilient, and reimagining the future. And I think that's what this COVID has taught all of us, that we are perhaps in the same storm but in very different boats. And that calls to mind that whenever we have ceremonies like this and occasions where we get to talk about larger life realities and experiences, we need to bring people who've been the most marginalized, even amongst us. And I think with people like all of us on this panel are privileged people in many ways than one. It is the job of people who to recognize their privilege and bring to the forefront people who are not as privileged as we are, or perhaps even who suffer from multiple marginalizations. And that is the only message that I want to give out to people, is recognize your privilege, call out misogyny, because whether it is transphobia or it is misogyny, all of them have roots in patriarchy. Call out these ills and become a leader for yourself, and become a hero for someone who looks up to you for courage and help.
That's really lovely. Praful, you've been in this, working in this field for years now. You've dedicated a lot of your life. What is your experience?
So intersectionality part of it, that LGBT people do not exist in silos, right? We have women as a gender who have not been given due forever, and who stand so beautifully, whether cis or women from LGBT community, etc., stood by us forever, speaking for our right. Now today, if I am in a position of privilege in any way, and there's a spotlight on me, and I can speak about all genders, I can speak about all abilities, all ages, etc., why aren't we doing it? Why aren't we reaching out? Why aren't we doing it? That's the question that I keep on asking within the community. Outside, I keep on asking people like, hey, beyond this whole, 20-year-old to 45, 50-year-old cis male, which is employable in people's head, who else can you share a certain kind of workload for? Whose talent can you showcase? Whose skills can you bring to the fore and really, always gain from? There's always a business angle. There's always a give and take from anybody. Wisdom, changes in terms of social nuances. There's so much that everybody brings. So why are we still stuck up in such a small box and such a myopic worldview where we look at only community or outside of it, or mainstream or niches? Why can't we look at inclusion in complete entirety of it, and which is a nice coexistence with respect, with dignity, with a whole lot of stuff that we fight daily for in our own lives, within our own spaces. So boardrooms are no different from bedrooms when it comes to respect, and consent is same no matter where it is. Why are we labeling it according to sexualities, abilities, ages, genders, blah blah blah? Yes, it exists, and we have to undo that at every point of time and remove those labels and tear them apart and say that, hey, I'm much more, you are much more, everybody is much more than that, and not judge people and not see people from that perspective.
Somewhere I feel like quite often, like, again, I'm speaking again, it's my simplistic maybe understanding of the categories that we all create. Like, to me, I stand up for somebody as a human being, as a professional, for what they bring to the table, for their heart, for how they love me, how they give to me, and I wish, like, as simplistic as it sounds, and I know that there is a whole, there is a need for voices. There is a need for people to, speak about these things, etc., etc. But from where I'm coming, and again, I was brought up in an environment which was very, very inclusive. There was a lot of discussion around me constantly. I grew up around artists, grew up around people who were very, very much part of the whole, whether it was the feminist movement or the LGBTQIA conversation, etc., etc. And I've really been exposed to a lot. And for me, it was, I don't know if I can use the word, but it was very normalized. Like, it did not seem like anything different. It was about people at the end of the day. And I really wish that
these conversations could, like, they could come up with kids when they are little and when they are small, so that it can be something that is so much more a part of their lives rather than one having to adjust to it. I don't think that, I wish that there was never a need to suddenly open your eyes to a new world and then to make an adjustment and say, okay, I understand this also. Having said that, I understand and have to be people who fight for what is right, etc. And I do feel actually that our industry, I would like to club the entire artistic industry. I mean, not just the film industry. I feel tends to be more inclusive. I think you very rightly said, Zainab, like it also stems from some kind of patriarchy, from misogyny, which is so deep. Like it's rooted in so many of us. And it's not just this, it's also any kind of difference, anything that is perceived as being the other is something that everybody then just feels like, it's the same thing even with beauty. The factory prototype understanding, that mass understanding of beauty is not the only beauty. There is another kind of beauty, and we must be inclusive about it. And so too with people, their preferences, whether it's religion, whether it's anything else. Like I think it stems from the same way of thinking, and that needs to be more expansive.
Over to Shashank. I'd like to get some perspective from Shashank and his personal experience as well.
Aditi spoke and articulated it so beautifully. And, I keep saying this, I don't go and say, hi, I'm Sushant and I'm gay. So I think that's where you need to normalize it. And I think also, let me tell you that, we keep saying that people need to be more inclusive, but we need to be more inclusive even within the community, because you'll see a lot of inverse discrimination within the community. So there'll be femme shaming, there'll be trans shaming, there'll be drag shaming, there'll be fat shaming, there'll be all sorts of shaming within the community. So when we call ourselves a community, we need to make sure that sentiment is intact. I think that respect is the first word a child must be taught, because after that, then, everything falls into place. Respect people for their being. This I don't see happening. And I think that through your, when we kind of deliberated in the past couple of weeks, I got to know so much about things that I didn't know within the community. And as a millennial and as somebody who's younger, and I need to know this. So I mean, I would like to thank you, Elton, for putting this out for everybody to see, and celebrating queer talent in all its finery.
It would be nice if each of us could address the key people in our own personal experiences and our lives that have made us resilient.
Anyone who is out of the closet and is completely one with their authentic self, I think I take great pleasure in saying that I derive a lot of energy and positivity from anybody's story. And I think everybody's story is important. Everyone has a journey. And I think that we need more people to come and speak and showcase their talent, so that people, as again, I think Zainab and Shobna also said, that when they see more representation, they feel that it's normalized. They can feel normal about it.
So I'm actually the great-granddaughter of slaves, or however you want to call it. And nobody has lived in India since then. And this is the 4th country I've lived in. And I actually came here just like an online affair. I had an affair with a woman. 2 months later from US, I dropped in at Mumbai airport, met her for the first time. And September 8th actually is my 18 years in India.
Oh my,
so,
congrats.
I'm in a relationship with the same woman. So, to live in a totally different culture, to get to know a different culture like this. And India is a very different, complex culture. I'm open. My sensibilities were from the West, or are from the West. And coming and living here has totally, put my philosophy, my ethics. I had to revise everything to be who I am today. The one thing that both Harshita and I agreed on, that we will always appear or be empowered as who we are. Harshita is probably one of the very few people who knows me in and out. We've been together for 18 years, and you can't hide anything in 18 years. Paramount, Harshita, yeah, she's just amazing. We've still probably will be going on for another 18, 20 years, 30 years, who knows. And we've got a family together as well. So our child will be about 5 years old now. So it's been an incredible journey, and love her, light of my life, and of course our kid. And we look forward to working a lot more.
Big ups to Harshita. All our love to her as well.
Thank you.
What about Shashank? You've not given us any special names. Is there a special romance brewing that we need to know about?
This is the perfect opportunity to say that I'm single. Woo-hoo! I'm the youngest MILF in Bandra West. I'm just going to give you a tour of my temple, my body. So girl. Oh my God, Buddha might just suddenly open his eyes, babe. Sorry, huh? I'm single, but I'll tell you, my parents, I think, have been a constant source of support, not only for me, but also for, other LGBT queer children and their parents. So I think that it's extremely important that we have, more parents coming forward and supporting their children and loving them unconditionally, because I think that's what a child craves for, the love of their family. And I think that then you automatically blossom and bloom into the best version of yourself. So I think that that's very important. I would just like to say that I'm very, very fortunate to have the parents I do.
True. There's nothing like acceptance and inclusion. It really polishes up everything. What about Zainab? We move on to Zainab and get her opinion.
Two persons actually. One is, of course, the person who I live with, Lakshmi, who is a friend, a mentor, a guru. We agree to disagree on too many things, and we have very different outlooks towards life and development in general. But she's been a source of inspiration. She's been someone who's guided me on my journey. But the second person who I actually hold in very high esteem is this transition self of mine. Because right from the time I was a kid, I remember there was this person within me. So it was like that typical Bollywood side, Andekha Anjana, Aane Laga Khayalon Mein. So for me, this woman was already imprinted in the mind and the brain and the soul of a young, effeminate male. And the love story was so strong that eventually, over all these years, the hardships, etc., made me comfortable with to bring about that phase where this woman actually steps out. And that's been the true love of my life. And each one of us who've gone through a similar story, not necessarily of transitioning, but in terms of accepting yourself, in terms of going through different issues, stepping out of the closet, stepping in the closets, fighting with your communities, going away from your family. But in that process of truly accepting and embracing, it takes courage to accept yourself. And I think before the world can change you, before the world can accept you, you have to come to that realization point where you says, yes, I accept and love myself. And that's where those words of Mariah Carey, there's a hero inside you. So I basically hold the hero in all of us in very high esteem, because we've been able to break bonds of society. We've been actually true catalyst in bringing change in our life. We've been able to follow out the one true life of being ourselves, and to also kind of show this beacon. So for me, I truly love, admire, and foster the hero in all of us.
We'll move to Praful and get some of his perspective on it.
So, like Zainab said, there is this whole celebration of self that is so important. Like Shobna has a unique story, I have a unique story. There's invisible illness, mental health that is there as a part of it. I don't even know how many people speak about their journey as far as that is concerned, because how will they be looked upon? They are out, they are doing everything, and wherever on the spectrum that they are, it's very unique at the journey to me to fight that battle, to come out of it, to be where I am, and to on daily basis still look at myself even from that space, and not be harsh and not be absolutely weird about it, and also to overcome all the differences that are there within the community, right? Like, I will always be the peacemaker whenever there is a fight, I will never be pouring petrol in things by default, because no matter how many differences are there, I would go and make up those calls, right? I would speak to all the LGBT alphabet soup there is that exists, and city-wise everywhere, and I get a whole lot of brickbats for it, for making that attempt. A whole lot of friends who are along with us and who do this bridge building effort, we get a whole lot of what to say, stones thrown at us. We use that to make these bridges, right? And I would thank everybody who's along with us making those bridge building efforts, and that everybody who's actually not tearing the community and the world apart. That inspires me. Anybody who's being productive, constructive, and actually reaching out and being a friend to each other, and including each other in our conversations, and not saying that मैं क्यों करूं, this is not mine, this is somebody else in the community, मैं क्यों करूं. And then there is nature, biodiversity, the most non-judging, the most beautiful, and how everything in nature coexists and how it is. So diversity and inclusion, human wise, is this much, nature wise is this much. It's a mega giant crazy awesome delight to look at how ants live with termites and don't cross the line and still don't eat each other's food, and build their colonies and build their ecosystems, know how fragile it is, and still thrive.
A lot of how I have grown up, and the way that I have grown up, and I have a lot of people to thank for it, whether it's my mother, my grandmother, my dance teacher, the school that I went to Krishnamurti Foundation School, again, a very, very expansive, open kind of philosophy where it's all about inclusivity in every way. So I have to say that I think I'm very, very lucky to have had that kind of...
See, my experience has been totally different in the corporate space, because that again is coming from a privilege that am much more possible as a woman. So when you are English speaking, you are articulate, you are empowered, you come at a particular designation, then people come up and say, if you've been able to be so successful with your life, why can't everyone, why can't other trans people aspire to become like you? And then I tell them that you're actually setting up people for failure, because not everyone is supposed to be Zainab, and everyone has their own individual lifestyle, a career, a personality, which is very individualistic. And I think this is another issue which comes up, is in terms of stereotyping. All of us perhaps have done well for ourselves in our personal, professional and social spheres, but that only reflects a creamy layer of the LGBTIQ plus community, if I may say so, because for the rest of the 95%, it is still not being able to live with the partner of your choice, not be able to adopt, not break the glass ceiling, if I may say so, in a corporate work environment. Like, for example, I have been known as Anna for some time, and in my previous organization, which was supposed to be a very sensitive kind of an organization to LGBT issues, and they forever couldn't get my name right. They would just not make the effort to call me Zainab. They would still call me by my dead name, and I actually loved my dead name also, but I made a choice, and to be respectful of someone's choice, it was not about an identity or a pronoun. It was just kind of being so fixated by calling someone something that someone did not really want to make the effort. And then I actually told them, I said that, why don't you take a break? I'll come back to office the day you decide to call my real legal name now and not dead name me, or I'm going to start writing about these experiences on the net. And it took them it took effort for them to kind of change their attitude, and kind of, because they said, "Arey, everything is normal" or stuff like that. But I said, no, if it's about me, it cannot be about normal stuff, because forever you've kind of targeted me using this particular name, even though you may not be intentionally wronging me or something as per your mind. But for me, I do feel upset that someone who's close to me, someone who's a colleague, continues to address me in a name which I preferably don't want to be addressed as. an average trans woman trying to find a job within the organization, first of all being pushed to the extreme back end of jobs because people don't want to be seen with a trans person doing certain amount of things, etc. If it's just about the paucity of opinions and paucity of options for these people, then it requires a terrific amount of reset button to be pressed, and that reset button has to be pressed every day, because as Elton and Sushant said, that it's decades and decades of marginalization. So if you really want to bring someone to the mainstream, it will have to take lots and lots more effort, because today, I mean, if I use the Hindi equivalent of the word transgender, they call each other tum chakke ho ya hijre ho, and that is used as an abuse. So to turn a term which is used as an abuse into something powerful will take years and years of effort.
The other thing is that, this effort will be required from both parties, from us as well as the mainstream. Very frequently, we ourselves, like this group, ourselves put ourselves in the mainstream. So people get to know us, and then, attitudes change. But we need more people like us to be out there. That's the basis of it. We need more people out. I mean, like I said, I totally understand India is complex. The culture is complex. But at some point in time, we need to say, I need to live an honest life.
Yeah.
And I need to step out. Even if 1% of the queer people say that and do it, I think there will be a massive change. Our expectation for acceptance by somebody else will only happen if we accept our own authenticity and step out of our comfort zone. And I think that is also very important to what Zainab has said.
Absolutely.
You see, Shobna, unfortunately, there is this, the burden of retelling your story on a day-to-day basis is unfortunately on the victim. And when we pass out this COVID phase, whenever that may be, one is that we've survived through it, one that we've become more resilient, and when you're trying to reimagine the future, it's us who are constantly telling our stories. And kudos to the stuff that you do through the amazing work that you're doing on literature, by keeping literature alive, that whenever the new normal comes into effect, we are part of that new normal and still not out of it. Keep the momentum going, be visible. See, I just wanted to quote Harvey Milk as we close, from the jury panel. And Harvey Milk was an activist in the US, and it says he made a very interesting statement. It says that it takes no compromising to give people their rights. It takes no money to respect the individual. And it definitely takes no survey to remove depressions. So my request, as someone from the community, as someone who has the same flesh, blood and skin like all of you watching this amazing intervention, is that equality will come the moment you open the doors of your heart, your eyes and your soul.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Zainab, and thank you each one of you. Thank you, Shobna. Thank you, Aditi. Thank you, Praful. Thank you, Shishant. And thank you, Zainab.
Thank you, L2 and everybody. It's so nice to have met you.
Of course. And I'd like to say thank you for participation. Thank you for picking such wonderful winners. I think we spent several months, a lot of us, primarily I've spent a lot of time talking on the phone. Thank you for all the time and the investment. And yeah, we hope to build a better world together, to develop long-standing friendships together, not just between ourselves, but even with those around us. And some of you watching as well, of course, we reach out to us. Don't forget, if you have anything related to skilling and employment and getting your corporate brands, getting your team skilled and finding the right direction, there's Praful for you. If you're looking for anyone to publish your work, queer, otherwise, there's Shobna for you. Thank you, jury. Have a wonderful evening by yourselves. And don't forget, this is the NB's 2020 powered by Maybelline New York.
That was a wonderful conversation with our diverse jury to present our 14th award. After this, we've got just one more. So, this award is the Chinna Chinna Assay Award. Now, for all of you that don't know what Chinna Chinna Assay means, it's based on an A.R. Rahman's song from the film Roja. We grew up watching the song, and adolescent years, Chinna Chinna Assay is Tamil for Little Hope. Now that's what it means, it's Little Hope. This award is for non-NGO minority groups with limited resources and fewer privileges that work to build agency while providing any service to society. This is an investment prize sponsorship category. To present our Chinna Chinna Assay non-binary virtual award 2020 powered by Maybelline New York, I'd love to call upon our beautiful jury member, Aditi Rao Haidari.
So the Chinna Chinna Assay Award, which means Little Hope in Tamil, goes to Sachin Avasthi from Dancing Queens, Mumbai. Congratulations, Sachin.
Dancing Queens, a Mumbai-based professional trans woman-led dance troupe, founded in 2009, focuses on promoting the welfare of the transgender and Hijra community through various events. They use dance as a medium to amplify and spread awareness about the struggles of the transgender community while also advocating for their equal rights in society. Dancing Queens was founded in 2009 by Abhina Ahir, Urmi Jadhav and Madhuri Sarode, and now consists of about 25 to 30 active members. They've performed more than 90 shows across the country for mainstream organizations such as the National Human Rights Council, the National AIDS Control Organization, and other NGOs. The troupe members believe that the combination of a change in laws and social attitudes will give transgender people a more dignified life. The Godrej Group, a longtime ally, a large Indian company, employed their first trans woman after the Dancing Queen's first performance on their premises. The Queens take pride in creating this wonderful safe space for expression and community, and this, we bet, is only the beginning.
I'm too excited, nervous. For the only reason, it is one of the biggest platform where Dancing Queen getting its prize for first time. And thank you for considering us for this award. And love you.
Thank you so much, everybody at Dancing Queens. Thank you, Urmi. And thank you, Abhina, for this wonderful, wonderful platform. And we're very thrilled to contribute our little investment prize, sponsored by Maybelline New York, to you guys. Thank you so much and have a great evening. We're happy to send you off to the red carpet. Veer Shade is waiting for you. We have just one more award left, and that is the NB Roundtable Award. Now, this award is a cash prize winning award. It's the biggest cash prize winning award. We have managed to raise 200,000 Indian rupees that will go towards this organization and this winner. Thank you, Maybelline New York, for all that money you've helped us raise. And the Roundtable 2020 award goes to, fingers crossed, the Tweet Foundation, the Transgender Welfare, Equity and Empowerment Trust, also known as TWEET, Tweet, of which Abhina Ahir is the chief functionary, is led by 7 trans activists, working wholly for the welfare of trans persons, their education, medical treatment, legal standing, cultural and social upliftment. They also work towards the establishment, conduct, and maintenance of group care homes for elderly trans persons of all ages living with physical disabilities, and additionally grant financial assistance and psychosocial support to institutions performing similar care services. Through partnerships with major institutions such as the World Bank, the World Health Organization, and their kind, Tweet contributes to educational and scientific research and development towards the betterment of transgender rights, health, and well-being, along with providing relief to transgender people living in poverty. Abhina Ahir herself is a trans activist who clocks in more than 2 decades of experience in the HIV and AIDS sector and has been working on health and human rights across the globe. She is a part of the Asia Pacific Transgender Network, the International Trans Reference Group, the Technical Resource Group, member of National AIDS Control Organizations, and has worked with various funding organizations and community-based organizations, including the Humsafar Trust, India HIV/AIDS Alliance as Associate Director of Gender, Sexuality and Rights. She has worked with Johns Hopkins University and the Family Health International. Abhina is also a member of the Dancing Queens that we felicitated earlier this evening, and an HIV consultant on trans issues for Global Action for Trans Equality, a steering committee member at the International Trans Fund US, and a TEDx speaker, delivering talks in Delhi and Varanasi. Abhina also received the REX Awardee Fellowship for her work towards trans empowerment in India. Congratulations, Abhina. The stage is yours.
Thank you for NB Roundtable Awards. We are very happy and honored to receive NB Roundtable Awards, and I'm really excited actually from the Tweet Foundation. From the Board of Trustees, I would like to say thank you to everybody who has recognized our efforts and work. I would especially like to thank Ms. Malini. I would like to thank Maybelline. I would like to thank Elton Fernandez. And at the same time, I would like to thank the Hub Bangalore for actually recognizing our efforts and appreciating us by giving this very, very prestigious award. I'm really happy to receive this award on behalf of the trans men and trans women community that we serve with Transgender Welfare, Equity and Empowerment Trust.
Thank you so much, Abhina, for accepting this award. We are super proud of the Tweet Foundation and all the wonderful work you guys keep doing. 2 more performers are going to grace our stage before we let you guys go, so stay tuned and keep watching. Now, a bona fide music star in India with hit albums and singles both of her own and in Bollywood. She also runs her own music production house and label titled Om Grown Music. Any ideas? She is also a cultural youth icon, a champion for women's rights, and a change maker. Her concerts in India see turnouts over 100,000 fans. Not as close as my number, but still, I'm just kidding. And she's possibly India's most controversial woman and always in the news. She's fought and won one of the only victories in India's Me Too movement, which was declared as dead and dusted. And she has also been on the forefront of the fight for music copyrights for artists as a producer. Presenting my dear friend, Sona Mohapatra.
मन तेरा जो राग है, मन तेरा जो राग है, मोहे मोहे समझ पास है जो सब छोड़ के, पास है जो सब छोड़ के, दूर को दूर को पास बुलाए, जिया लागे ना तुम बिन मोरा, जिया लागे ना तुम बिन मोरा, जिया लागे ना तुम बिन मोरा, जिया लागे ना तुम बिन मोरा,
Hi, I'm Sona Mahapatra. Namaste. I am so proud to be part of India's first non-binary awards. The world seems to have become a completely binary, black and white, wrong and right place. But our culture, our mythology teaches us to be so much more inclusive. Such a plural culture, so much to be proud about, so much to learn from the symbolism in our mythology and culture. And I feel, well, these are the times when we need to stand up as artists and speak for what is right. And I'm so proud and so happy to be part of this platform, the Non-Binary Awards. A big shout out to Maybelline New York, Bangalore Hub, and Miss Malini, who are supporting this very, very wonderful initiative. I'm Sona Mahapatra, and this is India's first Non-Binary Awards.
Oh my God, Sona, you really have given me goosebumps. All the performances tonight have been excellent. We have one more performer to go. Thank you, Sona. We will let you off now. Veer Shete, our co-host of the Red Carpet, is waiting to ask you some questions. So I'll see you soon. We love you. And finally, we're going to end our night with one more performance and then a closing statement. Now, this performance is by our darling jury member, Shashant Divgekar. The stage is yours, Shashant.
तुझे देखूं या तेरा साया देखूं, तुझे देखूं या तेरा साया देखूं, या देखूं मैं खुद के प्यार को. अब तू ही बता मैं क्या समझूं इस जश्न बहार को. अब तू ही बता मैं क्या समझूं इस जश्न bahar ko. At first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. But I grew strong, that I learned how to carry on. And so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face.
Should've chained that stupid lock, should've made you leave your key. If I'd known for just one sec, you'd be back to bother me. Oh, now go, walk out the door.
Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to break me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? And you thought I'd lay down and die? Oh, not I will survive. Ooh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'd stay alive. I got all my life to live.
I got all my love to give and I'll survive.
I will survive. I will survive.
Oh, as always, Sushant, you have been incredible. Thank you so much for all your participation and all your contributions on the Non-Binary Awards 2020. I'm truly grateful personally and from the Envy Awards. Now, I'd like to take a special moment of silence to remember all of the brave LGBTQ plus community members that we have lost over the period of years with the passage of time. Including this year, we lost a very, very incredible artist, Ram. And I'd like to take this moment to present a posthumous award to all of the LGBTQ plus people and our allies that have passed in their fight, giving a good fight. We'd like to take a moment's silence to remember them fondly, to honor the people we have lost, and to cherish being one large queer community that holds hands and crosses bridges together. Thank you for that moment's silence. To end the evening by a few thank yous. It has been a long and tiresome process, so it might take a minute. I'd like to begin by starting to thank our wonderful sponsors, Maybelline New York. Maybelline has been a brand that I've been ambassador for over the last 6 years. I'm extremely grateful and honored to partner with you guys and to have you guys as our sponsors and to make this little statement showing your allyship to the Indian LGBTQ community. Thank you very much. We'd like to thank our communications partners at the Hub. Thank you very much, guys. You know we couldn't have done this without y'all. Do forgive my anxiety attacks. But thank you so much, Azan, Vikram, Arjun, Tanya, Samrudh, Juveria, Bharat, Nala, and our editor, Ayman, I forgot Ayman, and our editor, Vishwas Iyer. Thank you so much for all of your help. I'd like to thank our communications partners, Miss Malini Entertainment. Thank you, Malini, and thank you to the team, Alicia, all of you really. I'd also like to thank our visual director, Ishan Bharat, my dear darling friend from years ago. Thank you for partnering and for having patience and dealing with me with love and a giving heart. Thank you so much. I'd love to thank our 3D designer who made our launch video, Adhiraj Singh from Delhi. Thank you, Adhiraj. I'd love to thank Tyrell Valadares at the Metalhead Studio for making the beautiful metal sculpted bust for our winners to take home. I'd like to thank my friends at the Pukar Printing Press, Khozama, and your dad, Mr. Shabir Kheti. Thank you guys for all the lovely work that you've put in for the NB Awards 2020. Thank you to our partners that contributed to our gift hampers that went out to our winners, our jury, and our presenters. This is Bennett in India, Boucle by Tanya George. Thank you. Thank you, Roshan, for the wonderful little sketch that you put together. It is so hearty and beautiful. It's a coloring book. It's actually a scroll that opens out from one end of my house to the other, and it's a community sort of activity coloring book where everybody can take sketch pens or coloring crayons and color it in together. So thank you, Roshan, for that. Thank you, Arman Menzies, DJ Zakuma, for the music that you put together for us. Thank you so much. It has been incredible working with you, and you've always loved with a giving heart. Anushka. Thank you, Anushka Manchanda, for your fantastic vocals on our little MB track and for your participation. All of our interns, whether it's Ritvik, Roshan, Eman, Ahika Harlalka, Rutuja Sangale, you guys helped me build bios. You reached out to me on Instagram and wanted to help. So thank you for that. I truly appreciate it. And I'd love to thank all of our presenters that came in and presented awards. Congratulations to all of our winners tonight. Anybody else? Thank you for the audience for viewing everything. Thank you to anybody else that I've missed out. I'm sure there are names. I'm sweating it out. I'm so happy that I'm done with this. But stay tuned for more content later. We will come back with some BTS content, red carpet question and answer round with Veer Shetty, our co-host. That should come up tomorrow. And in the year ahead, we will crowdsource nominees for our list. So stay tuned and do start to write in when you see anything asking for names. Have a great evening, everybody. Here's to building an inclusive world and to IG turning 10. Have a great night.